We're on.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this meeting of Smiths Falls Equity for All Committee for Thursday, July 9th, 2026. On July 9th, 2026, we acknowledge the sacred land on which Smiths Falls is now located has been a site of human activity for over 10,000 years and is rich in indigenous history. This land is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. We're grateful to the Algonquin ancestors who cared for the land and water in order that we might be here today. We're also grateful to the Algonquin people for their contribution in the making of the Rideau Canal, which runs through Smiths Falls. We're mindful of broken covenants and the need to reconcile with all the relations. Together, may we care for this land and each other, drawing on the strength of our mutual history of nation building through peace and friendship, and being mindful of generations to come. I will call the meeting to order at 9:03 a.m. Looking for approval for motion of the agenda, the July 9th, 2026 Smiths Falls Equity for All Committee meeting agenda be approved as circulated. Moved by Diana, seconded by Katie. All in favor? Carried. And we have minutes from our previous meeting. Look for a motion for adoption of the June 4th, 2026 Smiths Falls Equity for All Committee meetings be approved as circulated. Moved by Diana, seconded by Mitra. Okay. All in favor? Thank you. I'll ask for disclosure of monetary interest. I see none. We have no delegations today, but we do have an in-camera item. It's an educational and training session. The recommended motion that the Smiths Falls Equity for All Committee be as provided in section 239.3.1 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, move into closed meeting at 9:04 a.m. for an educational training session. And then the motion was by Katie, second by Mitra. All in favor? Okay, we're going to move in camera, which will move into our in-camera room. And we'll probably be, I suspect, over half an hour.
Okay.
camera, sir.
Thanks, everyone. We're back from our in-camera session. And we have two priority issues to discuss today, starting with the Repair Cafe. Sorry? Oh. Sorry.
Peter's looking for.
There's no more.
No, I have notes on it.
Oh.
There's one here.
Okay. So, Katie, you're going to talk about the Repair Cafe?
Yes. I can't remember when that was now, but the Ottawa, what was the name of the firm that did it? Was it Habitat?
Library, Ottawa 2 Library.
That's right, Ottawa Tool Library. So they held it in Ottawa, and my husband and I went in to have a look at it just to see, so we would have an idea of what they were doing, and then what we could do. Did you have the pictures?
Yeah, I'm just getting
okay.
Corey to bring up the
So
screens.
we arrived. There must have been 300 people in line with a project that they wanted
Wow.
fixed. They had in the building itself. They were all set up with the white rectangular fold up tables. They had a green lamp on each one, like a big high, with a lamp coming down for lighting. It looked fantastic the way it was all set up. Everybody was at their station. They all had a green T-shirt on that said Ottawa Tool Library. And people were in line up in there. Some people were already had registered and were sitting. Then there was this huge lineup outside in the rest of the building. It was incredible, and everyone was working at their desk. They had sewing machines. They had men with tools and so on. It was crazy. It was just
So, example, what type of things were people bringing to get repaired?
everything. I mean, there were things that I have no idea how they were ever going to fix them. Like they had their KitchenAid
Oh, okay.
mixer, you have no idea. Everything under the sun that could break, I'm sure they had one of
Wow.
each there. And so it was totally overwhelming for me. But anyway, so I came home and I sent out an email outlining the idea and asking all of my friends or people I knew that were men that were handy and women that could sew. Not one person wrote back. No one was interested in doing it.
Hmm.
I don't know how we would ever get set up for that kind of a thing. It's a wonderful idea, but huge undertaking.
Yes.
Here we are.
Okay.
Here are the pictures.
Is there anything you want to just run through them?
Can
Sure.
you see what they're holding? See there's the tables,
Mm-hmm.
and these are the people in line. Some had
Where was it?
drapes.
That's a big community hall?
Yes, it was Bank Street and Bank Street South. It's just, I forget the name of it. I had all that information at the time. It's gone now.
Alta Vista, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
So may I add to that information, because I did volunteer one session for them and I could speak with the organizer. So initially this started as a volunteer initiative. Some people got together and then Ottawa Tool Library hosted the event. And because so many people in community showed interest, so she wrote an application, a funding application, and now it is, I'm not sure where the funding is coming from, but City of Ottawa is also part of this project now. So they are the ones who provide the venue, and the venue changes because they want it to be available and accessible to the different areas in Ottawa. So for people who use bus, like public transit, so that they can get to that place. So City of Ottawa provides the venue, and then Ottawa Tool Library brings in the volunteers and they do the organizational part of it. So they do registrations online. People get into do that registration, but they also accept walk-in. But because the time, it's a whole day event, and if people who are walking in, they are too late, they may not be accepted. They have to wait. It's 4 times a year, so they have to wait for the next quarter to get it done.
Okay. And will there be technology with people bringing in computers or printers and stuff like that too? Do you recall?
I didn't see that.
Okay. Okay. So I guess obviously there's probably a need for it.
There's
Probably a lot of demand in the community for it. The challenge would be, how do you line up the people who are able, who have the skills and knowledge and ability?
I asked if they would come out, if their people would come
Yeah.
out, and they said no.
Yeah, it's not a new idea, and it's come up around town a few times, but not mine. And you need that mass of people with that experience. You need the trick would be, are we doing it, or if we ever considered it for environmental reasons, it's not that, so people who could afford to get it fixed, but there's nobody around to fix. So you're not helping necessarily a vulnerable person fix something, because everybody can go. It's not based on income. Just that there aren't people, you can't find people to fix things.
Exactly.
And so you're going to get, and that's a good thing from a landfill. And so there's lots of good reasons, but you won't necessarily target our population.
Well, it's community building project.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
just
got really wonderful.
I seem like the repair market, it's a lot of different repairs going on.
Yeah.
Could we maybe scale ours and just start with kind of like clothing stitching repairs and find maybe
And
4
who
people
do you
to
have?
that?
Yeah.
We can find,
Oh,
instead of looking for 20 people, we look for 4. And then we
Yeah.
try to do one event with a small group and try to scale it from there.
Yeah.
Because I think if we could aim smaller, we might. have
Potential
better
small,
success.
maybe minor electrical repairs, minor
Yeah.
people who work with wood.
Just
Might
like
be
a small handful of
Yeah.
only 5 people that we could start doing
So,
something with and try to.
I guess,
grow.
is there a few here who maybe want to get together, put your heads together, and maybe put together a bit of a plan and bring it back to our next meeting to see if we can advance it? And I don't know if, I think you asked people, it's not something real would want to take on, so it'd be more a matter of, I guess, a working group from this committee. Is that fair? Peter?
No,
No?
I don't think we're ready to start initiatives. I think based on the data I just saw, I think we need a bigger plan.
Mhm.
And because we don't have resources, we're not investing in this committee. We're not. So I want to do, but the asking volunteers,
Oh, no, I'm not suggesting that.
I know, I'm just saying that at some point we'll look at, Ireland has a different initiative they're working on. So communities get a full-time person to work with equity committees to do the background work and do it all. And it's funded by the regional government. And they're these dynamic people that each community has that do the work, the hard work, and they're supported by the volunteers. So unless we have something like that, we have a lot going on. Anyways,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't, Noah's never stopped you anyways.
No, I guess it would be more a matter of just putting the heads together to see, how would you create a path forward?
Yeah.
Would be more the initiative, I guess. And
I'm willing to chat, but I can't take it on.
yeah. Or is something we just kick down the road for a little bit?
I'll probably see if I can ask a few questions of people I know, but I can't promise anything.
Yeah. Okay. So Peter's comment is like relevant, and we'll bring it. You can probably come back at a later date. It might be next term before it's actually discussed any further. I think there's definitely a need for it. It's a matter of how would you line up the talent, and could there be some funding available at some point through the town to say, well, a couple $1,000 to
United Way.
Mitra?
the only place that I could think of is that is good for this and it's accessible to people with physical disabilities as well as like elderly or other people, and it's kind of central, is Youth Community Center where people play hockey.
Yeah.
Like we can use that arena,
The space would be
and then there
useful.
are tables, foldable tables and chairs that we could use and like borrow from the town, use the place. It's covered so the weather wouldn't be an issue or the season wouldn't be an issue. It's just a matter of finding, and we don't need to do it 4 times a year. Even once, we can start, as just said, we can start with once a year and a smaller scale. And if it goes well and welcomed by the community, then we can work on and make it like a funded project so that it continues during the next years.
Yeah, the town would have space certainly if there was talent. to do it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so moving forward, we have one more priority item that's just a community pantry cover update. And so staff have put together a framework for that. I don't know if it's coming forward on the,
It's
2
coming
weeks?
No, it's coming forward Monday.
oh, okay.
I didn't attach the report just because it hasn't been
Okay.
posted for council
Yeah,
yet. But like Mayor Panko said, it just it's not something the town prohibits currently. So it's not a report asking for council's permission or to authorize it. It's simply an information piece for council and for the public to know that this is something they can do, and here's some helpful guidelines, like making sure that it's accessible, that it's not too high, signage to make sure that people recognize that it's non-perishable items and what's accepted and what's not. So it's more of an information piece so people know where they can put them, what belongs in them, and to make sure that they're kept up appropriately so that they're clean and they're visible and all of that good stuff. So just more of an education piece, I think, to get the word
Yeah,
out.
That's great.
That
Yeah.
it's something that I think maybe people think that it's something they can't do, but as long as it's not encroaching onto right of way, sidewalks, whatever the case may be, and that it's kept in good order, and it's it's something that's 100% acceptable and actually encouraged. So
give people the green light to know, just go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, and it's something that maybe we can even the report will be on the website later tonight. I've taken pictures, or I haven't taken pictures. I used the little free pantry website that I think you connected us with. And if you go to their map, it actually, some of them have pictures of what their pantry looks like. So I stole some of those to put in my report so people can actually see. Some people have just used an old bookcase. Some people have built like lovely little things with glass doors, and some people just use a box. Like there's so many different ways that people have done it. But it's so doable. So we're just trying to get the word out, and hopefully, once people get them established, we can take pictures and put them on our website with the locations so that people know where they are, and we can include that on the food insecurity portion on our website.
And businesses can put like just a basket. I know
Absolutely.
Sand Cream does it. Just a basket, and people can drop off, pick up.
The Little Free Pantry does have plans, drawings if you want to follow that as well. So but as Janet says, just a basket at a business.
And we I did send it to the health unit to make sure that we did get their comment, because I didn't want council to go to all this effort, and for this group to go to all this effort, then the health unit to say something wasn't doable. So we're very receptive as well, and just gave parameters, but making sure that pests couldn't get into it, and some different links to follow. So it's hopefully it grabs a hold and we get some in town.
I've had people reach out who are interested to do it, and I said, the report will be coming out shortly, so hopefully that prompts people to get moving on it. Any further comments or questions?
I have a question, but it's not about the pantries, but it is related to the food insecurity group.
Sure. Okay.
I'm just curious, because Carrie, when I emailed you regarding where I've dropped off posters, you mentioned that there's been a lot of folks coming in and picking them up. Are we has everybody who's a part of the committee received posters / the brochures?
Not everybody.
Okay.
I have had quite a few come in and pick up a stack. Not everybody has, but I still have a small stack left. There's a potential I might need to do another order, not of the posters, but of the brochures. And if there's any people listening who have businesses or something, like they're free for anybody to put in their place of business. So just reach out to me, but not everybody yet.
Okay. The places that I stopped off, it's now when I've walked in and I see it's hung up. For example, at the Sand Crane's Closet, it's hung up now behind their cash. And at the Lighthouse Cafe, the brochures are in their Smiths Falls related brochure section, but then also the posters hung up in their community notice board. And I also went to places like nurse practitioner led clinic. And so the posters hung up there, and then there's also brochures available, and Ontario Works. And I actually gave them a lot of the brochures because the woman that I spoke to, she wanted to give them to all of the case managers. So that way they had access to it. And then I used my own leeway with the paramedics, and I got the community paramedic program to just at least be informed of them. And so they have a poster now at their community paramedicine office, and then an email was sent out to all of them who work specifically in that program with the brochure information as well, so they can be on the lookout for individuals who are vulnerable who may benefit from this information as well. So it's just kind of like the spider web of the brochure and poster reach. Slow dissemination there.
Director Clark took some to the powwow as well. So
Awesome.
they're
Okay.
there for people to take.
Of my 2 stacks, I only have 6 posters left, and I keep them in my car, and I want to hang them at the parks, but I need to put tape so I can actually do my hanging, because I have my poster and then like barrier immediately. So
Great
you'll see
program.
those soon.
Very encouraging.
Yeah.
Thank you. And before we wrap up, Janet, I know the Smith Falls Pride Committee met last night. Do you have a update on activities planned for August?
Yeah, we are going to be having the decorating. So we're encouraging stores, houses, anybody that wants to decorate their windows for Pride, and there'll be we'll make a map that people can go and see all these decorated. Even if it's just a small flag, it's decorated, and there's a chance to win 100 DBA dollars. So the town will hopefully look nice for the week of like they only have to decorate for the 3rd, which is when we're going to judge it, and then for the week
Okay.
that we have the Pride. So it's not something that has to be long term. We have our book club that we're doing on the 4th, and if people are still interested in that, there's I think there's a couple of books left that people can buy. We're doing an online on the 5th, an online Meet Your Neighbor. So for those that don't necessarily want to get out and totally interact in big crowds, it's just an online chit chat. We have moderators to keep out anything that's inappropriate. So it's all ages, and it's just a friendly community chat through Zoom. We have a games night on the 6th. So it'll be board games. Who doesn't like a good board game? We have on the 7th our SIP social. So for just a nice quiet evening that's not, again, not the loud music, just quiet evening, dinner, conversation. And the parade and the festival is on the 8th down at Centennial Park. The parade will go from Town Hall or from the flag down the street, cross the beautiful bridge and into the park. And then that night, people will have a choice. They can either, boys will be having drag bingo, and they'll be at the Legion. It's called Afterglow. It'll be an adult drag show and dance. And on the 9th, there'll be a movie at the Station Theater, and movie's just $5 to get in. So
Nice.
What's the movie?
it's called Pride,
Right.
and it's British and it's hilarious.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
For the festival, it is a family friendly. There's no alcohol. We were having a beer garden, but we decided just to keep it fully family friendly. There'll be food vendors, regular vendors, kids section. There'll be a stage with all sorts of things. We have poetry readings, we have choirs, we have bands. So it's kind of an open mic almost. And they just have to go onto the Smith Falls Pride Facebook page, and they can get the app from there, and that's where all the registration is.
So there's an app for it to
Yeah.
install. Okay, thanks.
And yeah, that's where you register and you can read about all the events.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Thank you.
Very exciting and fun week.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be
Thanks.
busy.
Volunteers?
Always use volunteers. There's also a space on the app to click and volunteer your time.
You can squeeze in more volunteerism?
Sure.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone. Next meeting, August 13th, 9 a.m. of course here. Look for motion for adjournment. Moved by Diana, seconded by Katie. All in favor? We're adjourned. Thanks everyone.